Hello and welcome to Nintendo Voice, your voice for everything Nintendo. This is episode 113 being recorded on the 31st of October 2017. My name's Lewis Pugh, and joining me to talk Nintendo, we have Harrison Milfeld.
What's going on, everybody?
And Colin Crompton.
This isn't a Halloween-based show, but woo, Halloween.
I didn't dress up or anything. I mean, I
completely blanked on Halloween this year. I was like, oh yeah,
I know. I had to ask my
Lewis is always ready to go.
Lewis is ready to go.
The spookiest character, excluding ghosts from the Mario universe.
That is true.
I'm just gonna say, somehow put Waluigi in like the Luigi's Mansion series of games. I'm sure it could possibly work in there.
That'd be awesome. Waluigi's Mansion.
I know.
You definitely playing the game.
I did. No. This couple I know, they for their baby's first birthday, they dressed their kid up as Mario, and the mom was Luigi. And somebody suggested on there talking about, I think the husband wasted a good opportunity not dressing up as Yoshi or a tasteful Peach. And I was like, yes, he wasted an opportunity.
Oh dear. True.
Well, Mario does not waste such opportunities anymore. And we'll be talking all about Super Mario Odyssey very shortly. We've got a pretty standard structure for today's episode. We're going to have some what we've been playing, including Mario Odyssey. We've got the Nintendo news, and we have a super topic as well, all about our looking at our most played games and apps from our 3DSs using the activity log, and then see if there's any surprises there. However, we've got some big things to discuss. And so let's jump straight into some what we've been playing. Everyone's waiting to hear about some Mario goodness. So I'm going to hand you over to Colin.
Yes, the one person who hasn't been playing Mario Odyssey. But I have...
You've got some Mario goodies. I've got some
Mario goodies. I grabbed myself another one of these.
Harrison, what's that?
Harrison,
what are you holding out?
You see, Harrison wasn't here for the last one, so I thought I'd grab a second one so he can get in on the fun. So,
I can't see. I'm just an audio listener.
Well, okay. Well,
what you doing?
I'll get around to it. It's one of the, I explained it before, but it's there's a shop or a store, if you will, near me that do basically knockoff goods. At least this is what I think it is. It's not. It hasn't got any official. It doesn't have into official quality seal or anything like that. Basically, it's just a goodie bag of random stuff. So we're going to open it and see what it is. Now, these have gone up in price since I last bought it. It was 63 pence.
Okay.
Bizarrely. It is now...
And that wasn't long ago, was it? That was only a few...
It was like 3 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks, maybe, something like that. It's now a solid £1 sterling. So
it's gone up quite a bit then.
It's gone up a fair bit. I'm curious to see if the quality has gone up. Now then, here we go. First thing out the bag is the same thing I got before.
Okay.
Which is a miniature poster of Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong with Super Mario written above them.
That's good.
I just feel like when you have that on there, it's if it just has that available, it's one of those bootleg type of image, of posters. You're that's not what that is. I know they're in the same universe, but still.
Well, again, it says trademark and copyright, 2013 Nintendo. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I can't say.
I believe in 2013, Nintendo did own the trademark and copyright for both the Super Mario brand and Donkey Kong as a character.
I feel like I've been slightly conned here because so far it's the same stuff. But I've got the pencil holders again.
Excellent. They're good quality pencil holders.
Well, yeah, but I've got them for far cheaper last time. I'm waiting something good for my extra, 37 pence. Yes, I got just a random piece of paper. This is why I got the podcast titled off last time, because it's in the most broken English.
So hopefully there's some still good gold nuggets in there we can dig up for another episode.
The first 3 words are "Feel may vary," which is basically they're saying the contents may vary, even though they haven't so far.
Still may vary good work.
I don't know. Yeah, this is exactly the same as I got the colouring thing like last time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of almost our post or our header on our Twitter page.
It is actually, yeah, it is. It's very close.
Mm.
You know what you must do now, Colin.
Yeah, colour it in and we can make a new one.
Exactly.
No. I grabbed this one because I felt something solid in it. And it's right at the bottom.
Yeah. Was there a solid one in the bottom last time?
Not that I know of. Okay. So that's empty now. Let's see what I got. Well, the solid thing was a lollipop, which is a bit disappointing, given the grand scheme of things. But we have stickers. I think they're different from last time, actually. So that's new. I think that's new.
I've always liked the 2D art like that of Mario series games like that.
It's really cool, actually. Yeah, that's awesome. And this is different. Like, it's a magnet. It goes on your fridge.
Like on your fridge.
Yeah.
There you go. That's where the extra money went. Magnets.
That's where the extra money.
How do they work?
That's the cost of magnets.
And that is it.
Okay.
So that was exciting. It was like mostly the same stuff as last time, but there you go.
There we go. You've had your Mario experience.
I know. Not quite the same quality as yours, as you guys' is a Mario experience, but for £1,
we've not mentioned it, so it could be better.
I kind of doubt it.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, shall we jump on to some Super Mario Odyssey?
Let's get to the main event here. Yeah.
Sure. Totally.
All right. So Harrison, before we jump too far into the discussion, how much have you played? When did you get it in your Switch, as it were?
I got it on Friday afternoon, and that Friday I only got to play for like 2 hours before I had to go to work, and then I had family event. I had an event for a friend, and then I was working all day Sunday, so I didn't get a chance to get full at it, whatever, like of collecting power moons until Monday morning. And of course I've been going through. I'm not as far right now. I mean, I'm past one encounter that you do during the portion of it, but I'm at like 62 power moons. And this is not, but again, that's a minuscule amount going right now. I mean, I've seen people up at 500 right now.
That's a lot of moons.
Yeah, and I'm curious. I'm curious where this game ends, like the story ends as far as like how many power moons you get. So, but overall, just to kind of say get to it, it's a joy to play. It is such a joy, and I feel like it's both a good and bad thing that Nintendo released that video capturing right before this game release. Good in the sense that I'm seeing some really awesome stuff. Bad that it's kind of starting to spoil all the fun stuff that I'm seeing.
Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that on the good side because I've kind of barreled through this. I mean, I guess I didn't have much chance to pick it up much before you. I did get it on midnight over here because it was the pre-download, which is really handy and it works really simply. So it was a couple minutes after midnight. I just clicked on the icon, clicked on do you want to check, and then a few seconds later the title screen jumps in.
Wow, that's awesome.
So it was really seamless. Like you didn't have another download bar or anything like that.
Cool.
So yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, when you said midnight, I assumed you went to like the shop and queued up.
No.
Midnight launch.
I've still just got the one Switch cartridge.
This is actually I went physical for this one, so I was debating, but I mean, kind of wish I didn't, but I don't know. But it's still, I need to build my shelf. I need to build my shelf of this. So
yes, that is the problem with having a mostly digital collection. Is the shelf does look rather barren.
Oh, you got a digital shelf.
Exactly, but I've also got a physical one.
Well, yeah.
And I've got a good selection of Wii games and Wii U games. It's kind of this vertical shelf with.
You got one Switch game just sitting there.
Yeah, literally. And then I've got a Switch section, which is what's Zelda, and so I've put the Guardian Amiibo next to it. And it was out a little, so I extend the arms out.
Not too bad.
Could be worse, I guess. But yeah, Mario Odyssey, I've played quite a lot in. I've seen the credits.
Oh.
I've got 261 moons so far. So I've poured quite a bit of time in it over the weekend. I don't know how much, though, because the Switch won't tell me till it's over 10 days.
Oh yeah, that
failing of the Switch, that is.
I feel like there's a common I feel like there's a bit of a theme right now, knowing that we're going to be talking about, like, in our super topic about our most played games, and yet imagining if that was the case right here with the 3DS, where it just waited so I'm like, did we really need to do that? But the thing I really like so far that people have been telling me once they beat the game, it just feels like that first 10 hours or so that 12 hours you do to complete the game, it almost feels like it's its own little tutorial. Not to say that it's easy or anything like that. I found some bit of challenge into it, and it's a game that doesn't really punish you that much as far as dying. It's like, sure, there's gonna be multiple times you're trying to achieve something, whether grab a power moon, or complete a small little objective, or maybe the boss battle. So it's just the fact, like, after that initial game is over with, it's like, wow, here's this entire rest of the game that you still have, almost.
I was going to ask you guys, actually, about, because there's no lives in this, as far as I know.
Correct. No lives.
Right, that is definitely, there's no lives. Okay, how does that change the game?
Well,
does it actually affect it?
Not as much. You die, but then you go back to your last checkpoint.
Okay.
And you are penalized by coins, which...
okay.
Yeah, you're penalized by coins. So, but I've gotten to the point where I have at least over 1,000 coins, and even at points, like, the most I think I've lost in a multiple attempt, like, trying to... Whether it's just a dumb jump I made, like a dumb mistake I did. Most I've lost in a row without finally completing it was, so far, about 70 coins, but that was like just...
Oh, well, okay. So it's very minor penalization. It's like, it's very...
But you do need the coins to buy outfits, though. So
see, that's really cool. If the coins actually have a currency value, because Mario's been collecting coins all his life, right? And he never brought a darn thing with them. And now he's like, hats! I'll buy hats!
And I will tell
and just costumes in general. It's not just the hats.
Oh, it's costumes.
The outfits are great.
Full outfits. And so, I think we need to take a little step back. We can get into the nitty gritty. I think it's safe to say this is going to be a very spoiler-free zone. The game just being a few days out. But in terms of, like, it hasn't been that long since Super Mario Odyssey was actually announced compared to other Mario games. You get like a lot of build up, and I mean there definitely was build up in Odyssey. I mean, it had a great announcement, it had a great E3. And great appearances after that,
and great review scores so far.
Great review scores so far, but yeah, jumping in, it was really fantastic. It brought me back to the feelings I had playing Mario 64, which is incredible.
Okay,
because that is definitely. I mean, it's a Mario 64, fantastic game, but it's also a game very much of its time. That like. You're used to playing like 2D games, and you might have played some, rudimentary 3D stuff as well. But Mario 64 kind of owned it. It kind of set up that whole genre. It felt really good to play. It felt great to, do a triple jump and to do like the sideways flip, and just like how fast that felt, and like exploring these worlds, and just this feeling that I haven't really had this game experience before. And Odyssey hits that note oddly. For me at least, and it's very much got this like, it works like Mario 64 framework. It feels like that, but it also, and I think it does it just through creative ideas, putting just like imagery and stuff you wouldn't imagine normally in a Mario game, and sort of set pieces. And I got back to that feeling again, and it was really quite bizarre.
It's kind of remarkable that you say it reminds you of Super Mario 64, because Super Mario 64 was the game that introduced a lot of people to 3D.
Yes,
like, this is how games work in a 3D space, and the fact that Odyssey took you back to that, it's like, wow, okay, so,
and it does it in like just a mixture of everything, really. And it's got like a perfect sense of timing when it introduces music. Well, like when you're like, when you hit a certain point of a new kingdom, and you go, oh, okay, I've actually finally arrived, to the hotspot of this place, and it's in, and all the sights and sounds, and it's little things, really. There's lots of obviously references to other games and such, but for example, obviously the new main mechanic is Cappy, which you can throw at enemies and then you take advantage of them.
Yeah,
that sounds a bit odd, but
that sounds terrible.
It's the Halloween episodes. It's
that's the thing the best thing when you get with these capture abilities, though, is when you use them in boss battles. Like one of the best ones I think was, I mean, it's fairly early on. Don't want to do it too much. It's like you're one of these little. It's just like this little plant creature. I can't think of the name of it, but you use it to stretch up and down, and then once you get to like its height, you jump off it, like, and then grow another limbs. You use it for a boss battle, and that's where I feel like Mario Sunshine or Mario Odyssey really shines a little bit. And I mean, I will say there are some bits here that are. I mean, yeah, it does feel, as far as boss battles do feel easy, but I still have just fun playing them. That's it, really.
I believe I just had to look through the guide or whatever it's called. That little creature with the legs which extend up and down. It's called an uproot.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. But you know what boss battle I'm talking about. That early one was really, really good.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But yeah, I mean, the different enemies you capture, they don't have like complex movesets. They usually just have like the one action. But they do find like creative ways to, you know, explore the environment you're already in. In addition to like these puzzle box type stages as well. And yeah, it comes up with some really inventive mechanics which you've just not done in a Mario game before. And combining that with like Mario's tried and true like platforming, it works really well. And I think another thing which kind of brought me back to that feeling is something which is quite different to Mario 64, which is how you get the moons, or the equivalent of how you would get stars. Whereas you would only have like a handful or so of stars initially, at least, and you would collect one, and then it would take you back out to the hub world, and then you would jump back in, and it would kind of reset itself. But with Odyssey, it's a little bit more like Breath of the Wild, in the sense that you have some sort of objective in mind. All right, I'm going to go here, where it's, oh, I know there's a boss at the top of this tower mountain or whatever.
It does show you with a light at the end, whatever, to kind of like your objective. But also, and a side note, when checking the map, and you probably saw this, I absolutely love how the map in each kingdom is like a travel brochure. And it becomes so helpful. It's like it will describe the world and everything like that in types of anything. Awesome. But like Lewis was getting at.
Yeah. So you having the greatest intentions, the best intentions to go off and clear this particular thing, but you will find interesting things on the way, and they will distract you, and it will become a rabbit hole of distractions, and it's wonderful because they're all really fun to play through, and you're not thinking, oh, I'm wasting my time here where I've got this like main thing I need to be doing. It's, if anything, for it, because you're stumbling on these things naturally, and it's really these densely packed worlds, and there's so many moons just scattered throughout, and you get them in many different ways. You get some returning things, but you get the odd moon here and there, which is an incredibly unique thing you need to do to get this one moon, and there are hundreds and hundreds of moons.
Oh no, there's
I mean, I've seen the 2D sections that you go through, where Mario goes into the old style. That's awesome. I think that's a great idea.
And when you do collect moons in those sections too, and a nice little touch to it is like when you actually acquire like a power moon in there, whatever, it will play like the little jingle that you hit here to play for like you've got a power moon. They do it in an 8-bit format.
That's sweet.
So,
that's
but
awesome.
like Lewis was saying, is it's not like stars or power stars or even shines where, like you said, once you collect one, it takes you out of the hub world. No, like since there's so many of these here, which I'm gonna say at least over 700 of people tell me whatever. I mean, I'm probably wrong.
I've heard at least that.
Yeah, and once you go through it, it's like you collect it, fine, done. You're back to doing what you want to do. So it's
kind of crazy. It's a bit of a leap from the 128 stars that you used to have to collect. Yeah. Now it's like, there's like 700 odd moons.
Yeah, you have to caveat that some moons are very simple to get.
Right.
Yeah,
some will just kind of be out there. I mean, they'll be in like an interesting place. But it'd be like, all right, I can see that. There's no real puzzle involved. There might be some platforming skill. Maybe not so much on some of them.
When you say there's 700 like odd moons to collect, I just feel like did Old Rare have a hand in this with the mad collector?
No, because like you can't really see them at a glance. Like you might stumble upon one, but you're not going to like climb up at a place and go, "Oh, look, there's a sea of moons for me to run around and collect."
Cool.
They're all hidden.
Oh no, there's different ways. Whether it's like obscured by a different portion of like a wall, or you have to collect like 5 little like these little
little moons. I don't know. Yeah.
And then that would be a power moon.
Cool.
So yeah, it's got a nice progression. I found like it does have a nice pacing in the sense that it takes you from like one kingdom to the next at a good pace, taking you through. I don't want to use the term story so much, but taking you through like the main part of the game and seeing the credits. I don't think there's any sort of secret that obviously the game's not actually over when that happens. You still have lots of things to go and do. But I think it's really cool. It does keep that pace going. Return to everything. And so it's cool to go through this journey. And that's how it's presented in the game, obviously, because Mario's going around the world. And it kind of feels like you are going on an adventure because it keeps that pace up, seeing all these different places. And there's lots of cool twists on what have become very like stereotypical or just expected references in Mario games. Like, I know what's going to happen here, and they'll put a twist on it, which is good.
Cool, that's awesome. So, how's New Donk City?
I barely got
into it. Great.
I barely gotten into it, but I've heard that's probably the best thing about it. So,
yeah, I was really surprised because New Donk City looked fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think it would be like the standout at all.
Are you going to say like it's not fun?
No, I'm not. it might be my favorite kingdom. That's the thing.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, there's loads to do in that city, and it's really cool to just mess around, as it were. Like you can grab like a moped essentially and just drive around the city, causing chaos, and you can jump on that. So you can jump with it like onto a taxi and use that to bounce up, and then you can jump off of that onto like a railing, and it's just a really fun play box. But yeah, it's full of secrets, and it's cool because I do kind of have that sort of, I know I just mentioned it, that Breath of the Wild feeling where I can just chuck the game on and go, I'm just going to run in a random direction, and I know I'm going to find something cool. And that's really nice. So you can play this game like a really small chunk, like a 5 or 10 minute chunk if you want to. You could just play it for hours, to be honest, as well.
That's awesome. Cool.
No, but I gotta say though, after finishing it though, Lewis, probably comparable to like Breath of the Wild, it's like, which one do you think edges it at? Like, do you think Odyssey edges it out, or is it just?
It's too early. It's far too early. But they're in the same discussion. You can have that discussion, which is better, and that in itself is
outstanding.
It's incredible.
And I know in the overall like game of the year discussion, knowing like these two particular ones, like currently, with Breath of the Wild at 97 and Odyssey now at a 97 on Metacritic, it makes one think it's going to be a bloodbath for in terms of game of the year. And I know there's other games out there, whatever, like Cuphead, Horizon, Nier Automata, just Resident Evil 7, for instance. It's just like, how are people going to decide on this, especially when you have like 2 god tier entries?
You're gonna have like multiple game of the years.
No, I get a sense that one of these titles is going to be like sweeping all these awards, and then like say Mario sweeps all these awards, and Zelda gets like, I don't know, best art direction or something, and some of these little things like it just comes like, I want them to win something, but still, it's just and it kind of makes me think like, what's going to be the next game after that Nintendo puts out that could get this much recognition like this? So the only thing I could probably think of maybe is another main series like Pokemon game for the Switch. That could be it. Who knows?
Yeah, Pokemon could do it. It's jump onto consoles. If
Prime 4 could do it.
Prime will be an interesting one because it's obviously it's gonna be handled by a different team. Prime would be an interesting. I'm not sure if it'll get like the same recognition Mario does, but it'll be interesting.
It's been a while, and it's a new team that they're stumbling. So Remember the last time when a new team actually assembled a Metroid game? I mean,
Yep.
well, a console Metroid game. I was about to say, not to.
Yeah, just realizing what you said.
So,
Colin, as someone who's not picked up Odyssey, I'm sure there's lots of people out there listening who've not got it yet. Any questions you have for us?
I want to ask you about game length. Now, I've heard this game is shorter than most other 3D Mario titles. Would you agree with that statement?
I think so. It's hard for me to say because I'm not entirely sure because Mario's not the sort of game I usually check on our accounts.
That's
so I'm
right,
not sure
yeah.
how long it took me to beat Mario 64 and Sunshine.
Yeah.
But it did feel, it did feel like it was a lot quicker to get through. But I think the difference here is a lot of content backloaded. And so although you've completed the game in one sense, you've also only played through a much smaller percentage of the game than when you beat the others.
Yeah, it seems to be like you can blast through the story quite quickly, but there are.
But you wouldn't have to be honest. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I basically, when I had enough moons to get to the next area, I did. Just knowing, because the sort of game is, I will go back to these places anyway.
Yeah.
So I might as well go back to them.
It's
later.
almost the Banjo-Kazooie way of doing things. Yeah.
Yeah, that part is short, but don't worry. There's still lots and lots to go after you've done that. Unless, of course, you, I guess, even if you do, like, do everything you can before you progress, there's still lots to do afterwards.
Cool. Awesome. Let's see. Got a few questions going through my head. So there's no lives, but in terms of difficulty, is it fairly easy still?
A little bit here and there, but I think the challenge itself is trying to actually perform. I mean, getting able to master Mario's moveset, because I really like how, much like in Breath of the Wild, you're given your moveset right off the bat.
Cool. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I mean, I was going to ask, like, there's no like sections. Remember, like Mario Sunshine, when they take away the flood pack, and you do those like quite difficult platforming sections.
There is a segment in the game where they do take. It's early on. They do take away Cappy for you for briefly.
Oh, okay.
So, so I had a little fun with that. That kind of reminded me as far as the floodless levels from Sunshine. So
awesome. Cool. In terms of everything else, I guess it's just like, okay, music-wise, is it as iconic as previous Mario games? Because so far, I've only really like, One Up Girl's probably the main theme, as far as I know.
Yeah,
but
and it is used in the game itself.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool.
And when it is, it's very, very cool.
Does DC a full concert of it, or?
I'm not going to say much about it because it's a really cool part of the game. But when I heard the song, I assumed it was made to market the game.
Yeah.
But now playing the game, I know the song was actually made for the game.
Sweet. For
a particular moment in the game, and that's all I'm going to say. It was really fun to go through that.
Okay, because I do feel like it's a little bit quieter in some aspects to it, whatever, but. There's
got the Breath of the Wild treatment there as well.
Yeah. A little bit, like in some areas there is like, more traditional music going on, blasting away. But yeah, there is some areas where it is a little bit more like just the environmental sounds and such. It's not, in one way it is not as a memorable soundtrack. It is more like, I mean, some kingdoms have some really good tracks which will stick with you. But I feel it is more like the sort of scoring of a movie in the sense that individual tracks aren't necessarily super memorable on their own, but it goes really well with what is going on. And so the moment, I feel, is better for it. It can elevate it in that sense. And there's a lot of great scenes which happen with like very great music, which is just for that moment.
Okay. I guess I'll ask.
The one thing you'll have a lot of fun with though is photo mode, and that's.
Oh, I was going to ask about photo mode. Yeah, have you guys experimented with photo mode a lot?
I have, but I've been seeing a lot of people just going on. It's like, God,
yeah,
it's so great.
Awesome. Okay, so Cappy is the new mechanic in this game, I guess, new character.
Yes.
The whole creature capture thing. How well is that implemented? Is it just like a gimmick, or is it actually like really awesome?
It works seamlessly. I mean,
oh, really cool.
You even you use the cap throw itself for good platforming. I mean, I've seen people accomplishing some very tricky platforming jumps just using the cap,
Yeah, because you can use the cap as like an extra platform, right?
Yeah. I will say though, motion controls though, it is a little weird for a little bit because
there's motion controls.
Yeah, there are motion controls.
Oh, okay.
For instance, if you want to throw Cappy in a circle, I use the Pro Controller, and I feel like that's the most recommendable thing you should probably use for it. I have like the Pro Controller in my hand, just one hand, and I just do this back and forth.
Okay.
So, but if you want to throw Cappy and you miss an enemy, you can just slightly shake it, and it will home in on the enemy.
All right, okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's not a gimmick at all. I mean, it's not like this where it's all throwaway where you don't do it, because without Cappy, I feel like the game itself just falls apart.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
And yeah, the other odd thing I like about the Cappy system is it doesn't get in the way of the Mario system. It doesn't have that sunshine effect where Mario feels different because he's got this big water jetpack on his back. And like some of his moves are different because of that. They they get rid of certain moves because you can replicate them with the new mechanic. Mm-hmm. Not the case in Odyssey. Odyssey just gives you more new abilities. And if you don't have them, you're just playing as Mario 64, but a bit in my opinion, a bit smoother and a bit faster and a bit more nimbler. But yeah, it's really cool that if you don't have a Cappy ability, you're just Mario, and it feels really good.
Which is not a bad thing, but it's just you're Mario in a game that really you can't get as far or do as much.
But I find fun in just doing wall jumps and just messing around in the universe. Whereas I'm glad you still get that as well as, all right, I'm going to take over a tank and just shoot everything.
To me, the one that like I was like, that'd be cool. The bullet bill. I'd love to be able to just take over a bullet bill and just fly around the level. That'd be awesome.
It's fun the first time you take control of one.
Cool.
Oh, definitely. And then you realise there's an accelerate button.
Oh, there is.
It's like boost really fast. Yeah, it's
very fast.
It doesn't get into speed.
Yeah, it's fast, and then you run into a wall, and you're like, "Oh, that was a mistake."
Awesome.
But I'm sorry, the T-Rex is the thing that's the best thing to do, to control.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the T-Rex would have been the best.
I don't think it's a spoiler to say that it comes really early on in that game. I was expecting it to be later in the end, but it's one of the first things you do.
Oh, really? Wow.
You can essentially miss it, because I heard someone who'd had, and it was one of the first things I did. One of the first kingdoms. I wasn't looking for it. I just ended up there. But yeah, it's not something which is gated away to like late game. The dinosaur's the ultimate thing to take over. Nah, it just lets you do crazy things all the time.
Oh, cool.
That's a starting point. In the game does. I'm not sure if I express this, but it seems more crazy than other Mario games.
Yeah, definitely with the Cappy mechanic, it definitely seems more. I don't know. It feels like it's more. It's very un-Mario-y, but they've done a very good job of implementing it into a Mario game, it seems. So that's kind of cool. But I guess I'll ask one further question. Yeah. Have either of you tried shirtless Mario yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I've not. They're expensive shorts. I've not got them yet.
Yeah, I did know.
I think they're 1,000 coins.
Yeah, I'm thinking like.
Wow. Okay.
Wait, so it's 1,000.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's 100 coins for me to get 100 coins. 150 coins together to get an outfit of Mario as a mechanic. But it's 1,000 coins to have him down to his skivvies.
Logic. It makes sense.
Right, that is video game logic. You pay more to wear less. It's tried and true, unfortunately.
Cool.
But it's all in currency, thankfully. And I don't believe so, but Harrison, you didn't pick up any of the Mario Odyssey amiibos, did you?
No, I didn't, but I do plan on wanting to do it. I I did actually. I did when I picked up the game at my local Target. I saw them on. They didn't have the free pack. I did see the Bowser one, and I just got off the shelf and I just looked at whatever. That thing weighs like a ton. That thing is a rock.
Oh wow!
A lump of plastic.
Yeah. They do look cool, and I do think it's also cool that each gives you the outfit, including Peach's, so you can just have Mario running around in the white wedding dress if you so choose.
Oh, marvelous!
And if so, more power to you. Go out and buy that amiibo, apparently.
It's not only that, it's well, I forgot to say, but they're great wedding cake toppers.
Yeah. Probably,
I can see that.
If I had to use them, I use them for. Yeah.
Make good use of NFC chips.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good to hear.
NFC enabled cake would be great.
Yeah, well, that's what you need. You can't just put an amiibo on a non-NFC enabled cake. That would just be silly.
That's true.
Very true. We've talked a little bit about Mario Odyssey. We'll probably be talking about it for quite a while yet.
We'll be talking a lot as far as how many power moons we have and what our favorite capture abilities are, because I'm sure I've only scratched the surface so far.
Yeah, and I've definitely just been scratching the surface just in the amount of moons. Even though I've got a couple hundred now, I know there is a lot more than that. Several times more than that, and that's just crazy. And so there's lots of Mario to look forward to, which is great. I just want to check before we move on. Is there anything non-Mario related we've been playing?
Of course.
Yeah, not a lot from me. So.
All right. Let's jump on something new then, because there's a little bit of a connection here. So our first piece of Nintendo news is that we actually had a direct since our last show, believe it or not. It's a crazy time. I almost completely forgot we had a direct before the notes appeared because of Mario Odyssey. I did, but the direct was all about the Animal Crossing mobile game, which now is called Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. And it comes out late November for most of the world. It's actually available currently in Australia, I believe.
No.
Yeah, it was Australia, and I want to say it was Australia and New Zealand that they came out.
Australia and New Zealand. And so it's available in I think they've I don't think they've labeled it a beta or a test or anything in that sense, but I think the version is like 0.8 or something. So
okay.
It kind of feels like it's like a soft launch.
Yeah.
However, did we all see the direct itself, or did we catch up on it afterwards?
I caught up on it afterwards, but
I'll caught up on it afterwards. All right. So what do we think?
It's Animal Crossing that I thought it would probably look like on there. I mean, I was. Even though Colin was dead set on thinking it was going to be a happy home designer by Ripoff, but this one is, I'm looking forward to picking this one up probably. So no, I'm just surprised how well it was. They were able to kind of put Animal Crossing on mobile well enough where it's not super dumbed down. I mean, even though it's going to be a free to play game.
Oh, definitely. It looks like Animal Crossing, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like some mobile games look like they're just imitating something. Like mechanics aside, you see, despite it being in a portrait screen, you go, yeah, are they not just slightly high-res models of the 3DS games? I mean, this looks like an Animal Crossing game. And that's another point, really, because they're on, modern smartphones with HD screens. It looks really nice. It does kind of look like the 3DS game. But HD. And so, I mean, Animal Crossing is a simple game in itself, but it's a little detail where those characters, it's still rendered in 60 frames. They look sharp. It's a fully 3D world still in that sense. It's not just a set of 2D menus and profile arts popping up with text on the screen. It is. There's a lot of just genuine Animal Crossing stuff in there, and I guess we should mention for people who didn't catch up on the direct itself. And so what the game actually is a bit like the traditional Animal Crossing, but not completely. And so instead of having a full village, you are part of a campsite, and you have a camper van. And you can go to different kind of segmented areas where you can see other, animals, and you can have areas where you can, fish and catch bugs and such. But it's a bit, it's a little bit segmented. But you can walk around on the screen. It's kind of they walk towards where you're holding. So I guess it's a little bit like the touchscreen Zelda games on the DS in terms of moving your character around.
I was when I saw the camp initially, this little campgrounds they have in there, I did get a little worried, thinking like, oh, we weren't going to have something to decorate, or but luckily you do. You have something like an RV, which you can decorate with your own materials. So
and it's essentially like your home at that point. When you go in it, it's like just a different shaped version of the home you would expect in the normal games. You can push objects around, you can put them down and rotate.
It's a cool alternative. I think it's definitely a cool alternative to the house. Yeah.
And so it is essentially, whether you talk about it mobile game or not, it is the free-to-play version of Animal Crossing. And so
not a bad idea.
I think there's a lot of people who would try this out who have not played any Animal Crossing games.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it overlaps nicely with the sort of games or sort of type of games that people play free-to-play games, free to download on their phones and their tablets. It's there's a lot of similar stuff going on there, but it's got that Nintendo charm to it still, because the characters do have personalities. They do have character in that sense. Really, a lot of that's opinionated, but I feel a lot of games seem to kind of lack any sort of actual character, or like it's a sort of strange essence of a soul. It's just, this is all very, maybe that's a bit too far, but you feel like some of them just don't have that much imagination.
These games have no soul.
I'm not taking that back. That feels right now. But yeah, I should mention I have downloaded Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. And so it's not too tricky to do if you've got an Android phone. You simply search for it on your favorite search engine of choice and download it. It will tell you this isn't trusted. You go into and it will point you to the settings to say,
this isn't trusted. Yeah, that's fine.
Don't worry about it. Let it in, and it installs. It's fantastic. And so I played a little bit. I've not played too much because there's been Mario, of course, and it feels good. I mean, it's hard to say about the longevity of it, and that's a lot of what Animal Crossing is about. But the short parts I've played so far, it does feel like an Animal Crossing game.
That's kind of the problem with any free-to-play game is longevity. It's like how free-to-play is it? You go, how far can you go on a free-to-play model where you can go, okay, now you need to pay. It's like, okay. Yeah.
But that's also where Animal Crossing kind of lends its already existing design quite neatly.
Yep.
Because Animal Crossing's kind of already been that, in a sense that you buy an upgrade to your house, and then Tom Nook goes, okay, we'll build that. Come back tomorrow, and you can see the results.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. That core essence is a lot of how the actual payment method works in free-to-play games. So that exists in this game, but you can go, here's some cash, speed it up for us. And so it really depends on how it's balanced. If Nintendo kind of manages to strike a balance where it's not actually that far off of the sort of weights you would expect from a normal Animal Crossing game, that's kind of a win-win, because people who are used to that will play like that, and they won't have to pay a penny in terms of speeding things up, because you can even do it on trees and such. You grab the fruit from the tree, and the little time appears, which is a few hours, which is actually a lot shorter than Animal Crossing games. But you can tap on it to speed that up.
I heard people complain about that, and to me,
I don't understand that. Yeah,
I don't either.
Not for Animal Crossing. For any other game, sure, but that's built into Animal Crossing. It's part of the game design. Things take a while, and if someone wants to speed that up, I guess so be it. But it doesn't seem to hamper from the people who don't want to do that, because that's kind of what the game is. Again, it depends how it's balanced. It might be they looked at that and go, oh yes, it is a perfect fit, and then they just stretch all the goalposts. Okay, and like where you would wait one day for this house, maybe you're
Yeah.
waiting a week now.
Yeah.
So that's where the it's going to lie, but you're not going to find that out for a while, because I think it'd even be designed in that way. Whether you play it for the first week, I imagine, and it would be beyond that once you've hit that routine of going back.
Yeah.
But that's what Animal Crossing could be good at. It's again designed for a game to come back to. You play it in little bursts, and then you've shaken all the trees. You've hit all the rocks with your shovel, and you go and you caught some fish, and it's tonight, and you go, oh, that's my day done. I'll play it again tomorrow.
Yep.
That's not too far off of
How we play Animal Crossing. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Each day you try and find the one rock that holds money somehow, and
yeah, and you try and smash it as much as you can, and
I wish that
and,
was
and you get your fossils.
Yep.
And you sell them all, and then you feel bad that you didn't put them in the museum. And
yes.
I look forward to the point where people come to my town or my little camp, and I don't know, they decide to cut down trees or something.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
It'd be fun. I think like some of the differences, because you do have the segmented areas. So in the sense, like if you were, I'm not sure how, I think you can visit other people's villages. I think they mentioned that. But because you would only be able to customize the campsite, basically. And so that would be like the area where you could cause havoc. Because I think all those other segmented areas are kind of static. You can't just dig holes in the little fishing pond area sort of thing.
Oh, shame.
Exactly. It's just kind of that main area. All these segmented bits where you can do a certain thing. But I think you need to put some limitations on it, or else it would just be a bit cumbersome to play quickly on a device like that.
Very true. Yep.
And it seems positive. So I look forward to its official release. I think we might see a few extra bits in there when it comes out worldwide late November. And yeah, it seems a good fit. So if you like Animal Crossing, keep a lookout for this one.
Yeah, definitely.
It's surprising me as far as what it looks like and what it's going to be overall. So that alone is just impresses me enough, whatever, because I mean, either way I was going to try this out, but now I'm looking like, okay, I'm feeling like I'm going to invest a lot of time in this. So
let's jump on to our next piece of news, and this is the most exciting thing, the thing we love talking about, the numbers, the business.
Yes. The numbers, charts.
We like other charts. We like charts.
I didn't say any charts. I would be more happy if I had a big chart on this screen.
No, don't you think?
Like this.
No, there was this running joke on Channel Awesome whenever like one of
the
chart guys. They always like talk about they talk about like movies, why they get made, whatever. Like, why should we make this? Whatever. It's stupid. It's like, but the chart says.
The chart says, yeah. That's so funny.
So Nintendo's been doing quite well apparently. Was the summary? I know they did go into some details. Okay, so the Nintendo Switch, since its release in March earlier this year, it has now so far sold 7.85 million systems.
Whoa.
Which is a fair bit, especially from where Nintendo was on their previous console.
Diggity dang. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of consoles.
What is that, like 6 million away from a Wii U right now? Yeah. Wow, 6, 7.
Essentially, yeah. And they've revised their projections, which Nintendo's often to do. But this time they've actually increased their projections for once in a while.
Lowball. I mean, I feel like that one number back in the briefing.
I feel every Wii U report was, we've had to readjust.
I mean, the final,
it's still not doing well.
The final projection was like, we think we're going to sell like 800,000, maybe.
And I don't think
no. When they initially did, I think back in their other their investors meeting back in April or it was late March, I believe, or one of the I felt like their initial number that they did for like how many they were going to sell Switches within the fiscal year. I looked at them like, okay, that's achievable, but I felt like they're lowballing that because like they know they can get past this number, and I feel like that to make it look great. But now with this, what we're seeing now is much greater than what we were expecting, especially with the holiday season coming up.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. It sold this insane number, and yet it's not even been through the biggest sales season of the year. So it's like,
It's
okay,
essentially just gone through the worst part of the year so far.
exactly.
If you put it like that.
It's like, it's insane.
The projection has been changed to 14 million systems, which, as Harrison was hinting to earlier, will be more than Wii U's lifetime.
Yes. What the Wii U sold in 5 years?
Essentially now, yeah. The Switch will do more in its first.
Yeah.
But it's not just the system. Its games are also selling very well, at least Nintendo's own. So Splatoon 2 has sold 3.61 million. Breath of the Wild has sold 4.7.
I'm wondering what that is with the Wii U versions, like the total as far as that. But then again, whatever.
I kind of feel like the Wii U port or the version of Breath of the Wild is for a very small number.
I think it would have still done well. I reckon it would have hit about 1 million.
Yeah, it did sell 1 million. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which not too bad, especially on top of 4.7. Next we've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe of 4.42 million, which is probably the most impressive out there because the non-deluxe version sold on the Wii U. Even more than that.
Yeah, Mario Kart was the best-selling game on the Wii U, and
was it about 7 million in the end or so?
I believe so. I know it's like
it
was the fastest game to reach like 1 million for Wii U. Yeah.
So I think if you add them up, that you're probably, if you're not already, near that 10 million mark for Mario Kart 8 in those two versions.
Yeah.
ARMS is sold 1.35 million.
Not bad for a new IP.
And 1-2 Switch has sold 20,000 copies less than that. or more.
Okay.
But basically around the same.
Interesting.
That covers the big Switch games and the Switch itself.
Can we talk about? I didn't realize. I think they snuck this in, but it broke on there about how much, like the sales for what go back on Odyssey. It's selling like 2 million copies in its first 3 days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is holy heck. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's going to be a good holiday season for Nintendo.
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I mean, think about people like holding back on this for like Christmas. Like, we'll get the Switches for the kids with Mario and Christmas. It's like there's a lot of people doing that. I know at least 3 people who are doing that. So it's like
I reckon
it's gonna be crazy.
I reckon in the next 2 months, Mario Odyssey will sell an additional 3 million.
Easy. Yeah.
And which will bring it over 5, that's crazy in like that short span.
Yeah, it's like a couple of months. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, it all seems very positive in the Nintendo camp currently.
I bet they're dancing on the ceiling right now. They're like, this is great. We're doing good for ourselves.
I know they did say something about the Super Nintendo Classic, and they're saying how that's been selling pretty decently for what they've gotten through. I can just see what that is. I swear they had some numbers on there.
They did. I can't see them right now. I think it's around the 2 million mark for Super Nintendo Classics.
Yes, you are correct. It sells 2 million. It sold 2 million units worldwide. And fun fact: one of my friends did get one for his birthday, surprisingly. So that was good.
Cool. But now it's good to hear that there was, that many out there. You heard everything about the original and the scarcity around it. You kind of expected there just to be hardly any of the things out there. So them having shipped 2 million already, and that they're committed to keep producing them for a while. People who want to go out and get it, they can, which is good, obviously.
It's always nice, yeah.
Always nice to have the option. There we go. You don't like that, Colin?
No, I'm happy with options. We like our options.
We love our options. And we've got one more piece of news to go through, which is Rocket League. It's now got a confirmed release date on November 14th. And there's also going to be a physical version. Not on the same date. It's going to come a little bit later. but there will be the physical option as well. And so that's obviously not far away now.
Yeah, I think I kind of noticed. I feel like when you look at as far as November's shaping up to be a bit of a big third-party month for the Switch. Between you've gotten LA Noire, Doom, Rocket League, Skyrim. And am I leaving anything else out?
Not as far as I know.
For Nintendo, you've got Xenoblade.
That's December 1st, but I was about to say if you want to count.
Sonic, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
If you want to count Sonic Forces as well for November, but that's I did find out though that they're not giving out pre-release copies for that.
No, I did hear that.
And people are asking like, why is that? It's not been getting the best of early previews, like early.
I'll be surprised at that though.
People seem to like that demo though, so it's got that going for it. If you hadn't heard, there was a demo for Sonic Forces on the Japanese eShop, where you could play a level from each of the different Sonics, modern, classic, and the new Avatar one. However, you would get exactly 1 minute, which includes the little kind of intro-y bit at the beginning of each.
I had no idea going to do that in games. Yeah.
Literally 1 minute, and it just it fades to black and go, thanks for playing. Which apparently I've not played it myself, but it's like basically when you start getting into the groove of a Sonic level, it just starts fading to black.
You got a 1 minute sample to decide whether you like this game or not. It's like, give us a level at least.
Exactly. So I would rather have one full level than 3 levels you only get to play the first minute of.
Exactly. Crazy.
Rocket League, though. Have any of us actually played Rocket League yet?
No, but I am very eager to do so. I'm waiting for the Switch version. No, I don't actually own a Switch.
Okay.
But I want to play it. I want to play it on a console. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope it performs well because it feels like Switch would be a great fit for that series, whether you're playing it locally or just portably as well. Or there's just lots of options which I feel would fit that game.
Also, I mean, honestly, I just want to play a Samus ship in car form. Because it looks awesome.
It was the Mario Luigi cars.
Not so much.
I mean, it seems like a big missed opportunity for Amiibo functionality there. For just giving paint jobs on the cars. It could just be as simple as that. Because the Mario and Luigi ones are...
Samus gunship is great.
Exactly, yeah. But that's my point. But the Mario and Luigi ones seem like a more simpler designs. Surely they could do similar things for the various amiibos. But you never know. Maybe there will be more to come on that side of things. They've already got their foot in the door.
Yeah.
All right. And so we now move on to our super topic. And so the super topic is, if you're not aware, is where our Patreon supporters can essentially give us a topic to discuss or to do whatever it is. And so for this super topic, we have Daniel Gaskin to thank, who asks us, hey guys, dust off your 3DS. I would love to know how this stacks up against each other. So my question is this. What is the top 5 most played games and or apps for each of you? How many minutes or hours do each vlogged? Do the top 5 surprise you? And does the time surprise? No. Is there a game that didn't make the list that you felt should have?
Do we want to go... Okay, first of all, do we want to go around guessing what probably the top one in each of ours is beforehand? Because I think I know what Colin's is.
Yeah, I've got a suspicion what Colin's is.
Well, it depends, because it's
one of the editions, yeah.
One of 2 games, so yeah.
All right, so which version are you thinking of, Harrison, for Colin?
I'm thinking Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Okay, no, Colin's not giving anything away, so I can only go with obviously Monster Hunter Cross, or Monster Hunter Generations, even.
Should I?
What is it, Colin?
Should I reveal my list first? And are we doing top 5? Are we?
Yeah, so Colin, if you now lead, actually, let's make it top 10. Let's do top 10. Come on.
Okay, top 10. Okay, well,
So start from number 10 and work up to number 1.
Okay. I was going to say my top.
Yeah.
Okay,
Save it for last.
Right. So number 10 for me is Final Fantasy Explorers.
Really?
6 hours. Yeah, I was kind of shocked at that. Like, above that, exactly 1 hour more playtime. Fire Emblem Awakening.
Oh, okay.
Now this kind of says more about me than anything else. But 87 hours. I'm like, did I really spend that much time? Pokemon Picross.
Oh, Pokemon Picross fan, eh?
87 hours.
That's a lot of Picross time. That's a lot of Picross.
No kidding. I was like, really? Okay. So 7th is Mario Golf World Tour, 94 hours.
All right. Oh wow.
Now we start jumping up. So
I'm gonna look for my Mario Golf. Spoilers, it's not in my top 10.
Oh, really? Mario Golf's awesome.
Oh, nowhere near
it.
6th.
Find it.
So now we're in triple digits. Fantasy Life. Great game, by the way. 141 hours.
Sorry to interrupt, but I found Mario Golf 68th place.
I haven't lost the hour count.
Just 2 hours and 27 minutes.
See, now this one game here. My number 5 is interesting because it's a DS game. Dragon Quest 9. 178 hours, which is to be expected. Number 4 is I'm like I want to do. I don't know what I want to do, but 4 is. Pokemon
I'm realizing
Shuffle.
now we should have done your list last. Oh, how much time do you put in Pokemon Shuffle?
Pokemon Shuffle, 242 hours.
Oh.
It's just, but now we've really jumped.
What's that time well used, Colin?
I know, right? God, if I could take those hours back. I really don't think I have Pokemon Shuffle on my system anymore. So now we jump up. We're in Monster Hunter territory now, folks.
Okay.
Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
The big numbers.
Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Now, this is the game that I transferred to the Wii U version. The Wii version, I'm like 3,000 hours in. 404 hours and 27 minutes for on 3DS. Monster Hunter 3. Followed closely, very closely by Monster Hunter Generations at 419 hours.
Oh my!
Minutes. But this is the kicker, and I'm going to try and show this to the camera, just so people can't see I'm bluffing. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, 2,035 hours and 31 seconds. If I don't know if that will come through.
Wait, let me hang on. Oh my dear lord!
That come through okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to speak while you show it, Colin.
Sorry.
You got to speak while you show it.
Oh well, it's. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So there it is.
Oh my lord!
It's somewhere along those lines. Yeah. It's kind of.
Yeah, that's proof.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
Okay.
Wow!
I know. That's like how many
That's
months
going to be.
is that?
If you divide it all up, it will probably be more time than all our other top 10s.
The 3DS is a good system. What can I say? There you go. That's me.
Yeah. So I guess we should probably guess either Harrison's or my top one.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Go ahead.
I'll let you pick, Colin, because you've just done. Who do you want to first guess? And then
I'm gonna guess Harrison's.
Okay.
Oh, this is tough. There is.
Can I put a guess in?
Go for it.
Come on.
Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh, see, I was thinking along the same lines.
No, it doesn't look like it. Don't say that, Colin.
No. Go on. I want to hear Colin.
I was gonna say Pocket Card Jockey, to be honest.
Oh,
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I was gonna go with. Yeah.
No.
I know how.
It's neither of those.
What?
It's got to be a game. It can't be an app.
No. Speaking of app, you know how many hours I logged into the Nintendo eShop?
I did.
Is it your top
I
one?
should check that. Yeah.
19 hours.
19 hours on the shop.
19 hours and 55 minutes.
You've heard nothing yet.
Yeah,
Hang on,
19 hours and 55
I've
minutes.
got to find my.
I don't know how it's done, but I've got some impressive app hour counts.
But I will start up my top 10. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
At number 10, coming at 27 hours and 51 minutes, Metroid Samus Returns. And that is without 100%ing it yet. I know, I haven't got to it.
That's awesome.
Number 9, at 31 hours and 36 minutes, Super Smash Brothers for 3DS.
Oh, of course. I forgot Smash Bros. Yeah.
Coming at number 8, at 32 hours and 58 minutes, a game I recently played, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. Coming at number 7, at 36 hours and 29 minutes, is Colin's guess of Pocket Card Jockey.
It's in the top 10. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Coming at number 6, at 41 hours and 9 minutes, Majora's Mask 3D.
Have you played that edition, Colin?
Not yet.
Oh,
No.
It's worth it. It's really it's worth it. It's worth basically like the Bomber's Handbook. They've streamlined everything really well to it. Whatever. It's just it's my preferred. My preferred version to actually play the game.
Yeah.
That should be.
I think I just like the bump in performance because it just runs really smooth where the N64 game didn't. And
yeah.
If you've got the well, I think we've got new 3DSs now. You can use that second stick to move the camera around, and it's a silly thing, but it's nice to play Majora's Mask where you can spin the camera around with the right stick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That and they changed the boss as far as their weak points, so they're a little bit more challenging. But yeah, and fun fact: the reason everybody's asking why isn't Ocarina of Time? My Ocarina of Time's not on here. It's not on here because I have it on here. Never did play it. Never. I mean, played the 3DS version yet. I think I got it for my Nintendo for it was like they had a deal for it, and there was already a Nintendo Select here, and then the Switch came out, and Zelda was like, I'm gonna play Breath of the Wild. So,
your priorities changed, yeah.
Right, exactly. But anyway, number 5 on my top 5. Number 5 on my top games played at 50 hours and 23 minutes. Pokemon Y.
Ooh, yeah.
Now,
see that.
Number 4 at 51 hours.
Fire
Emblem Awakening.
Oh, Awakening. Oh, okay.
Number 3 at 66 hours and 37 minutes. Pokemon Moon.
Ooh.
Now here we go. At number 2 at 91 hours and 6 minutes. Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, man. Oh, so
not bad.
Here's the thing.
What we got? What is it?
So here's the thing. I was shocked this was my most played game. I was shocked. And it's one I was very about, but it was the one I had to put it, and there's a reason why. Coming in at 91 hours and 10 minutes longer. 10 minutes longer than Fire Emblem Fates. 91 hours and 16 minutes. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies.
That's interesting.
Anticlimactic.
That is interesting.
It's by the way, I've just looked up my. I spent 43 hours on the friends list.
That's a.
How does one do that?
I spent 6 hours in the system settings.
My Nintendo eShop is 26 hours.
I spent 4 hours in the Super Smash Brothers demo.
I still want to check that. I better put more in there as well. Or closer, I didn't.
Oh, jeez. I put an hour on the friends list. That's the only time I've run there. But yeah,
that's great.
Right, Dual Destinies is my.
No, I would never have guessed that in a million years.
I was shocked. I was shocked it was on there.
That's
but
great.
But now it comes to Lewis, and I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna go with Pokemon. I think.
Which one?
Did you get Moon or was it Sun?
That's fair. Out of those two, I got Moon.
Okay, I'm gonna say Pokemon Moon.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Fire Emblem Awakening.
Fire Emblem Awakening. Ooh, both good choices. Now, what I'm gonna do? Actually, I'll just go from 10 to 1, and we'll find out. Number 10, Pokemon X.
Oh. I was like, really?
It counts, apparently.
I mean, yeah, it's number 10.
Still there? But I mean, that was the. Oh, no, sorry. I mistook that. Yeah, X was the first 3DS game, wasn't it?
It was.
For a brief moment then, I thought that was a DS game. Because there are DS entries, of course, on this activity log. Number 9, the Ace Attorney trilogy.
Oh.
How many hours?
Oh, I didn't say my hours, did I? Sorry. For Pokemon X was 52 hours and 55 minutes.
Not bad.
So for the Ace Attorney trilogy, I can't remember even how far I've gotten that. I think I've done the first 2 games, and that was 55 hours. Number 8, Animal Crossing New Leaf, with 59 hours and 43 minutes. Then we move over to, at number 7, Emblem Awakening. 60 hours and 53 minutes.
Okay.
And then a bit of a change of pace. Number 6, we have Fire Emblem Fates. At 61 minutes.
Wow.
Sorry, 61 hours even.
61 minutes.
40 minutes. Yeah.
I put 30 more hours into. Wow, gee.
That's right. And this is where things get a little bit more weird.
Just system settings.
Well, almost. But before we get that, we've got a couple of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice, 67 hours and 20 minutes. And then a little bit more than that, we have at 4th place, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney.
I'm seeing a trend here.
At 79 hours and 34 minutes. Now, the next one's a special one, and you'll find out why afterwards.
Okay.
Number 3 was Bravely Default.
Ooh, okay.
With 83 hours and 29 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I should have guessed Bravely, yeah.
Yeah. And now, these next 2 are oddities. Not Odysseys. And so I'll give out a couple of others afterwards.
I'm going to kick myself.
I'm going to laugh. I'm
not sure it's better or worse. But number 2, the Nintendo eShop.
The eShop is the second most played game.
What were you doing in there? Were you like just messing around, contemplating buying something, and you're just like
waiting for the sales to kick in?
I did a lot of that. I didn't realize I did 90 hours worth. It might be because a lot, most of my games are digital, so I guess it counts the time it's downloading, possibly. If I don't put it in sleep mode, I'm not sure that's the case or not.
You spent almost 4 days of your entire life on the eShop.
I haven't said the time yet, have I?
You said 90 hours?
Oh, I did. Sorry, yeah, 90 hours, 54 minutes.
Jeez.
Which leads us, because I was feeling a little bit left out. I don't have any anything in the thousands here.
Oh, okay.
But I've got something in triple digits, which is cool. It means I'm a proper hardcore gamer. And so in first place, I've got the internet browser. 247 hours and 12 minutes of quality time on the 3DS's internet browser.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I'm not sure why it's so high. I know I had a period where I actually use it as quite a nifty little kind of little YouTube viewer I put on my bedside table with headphones in. It was at a nice angle, which was all right on that screen. But yeah, that's a surprising figure. But yeah, 247 hours on the internet browser is what the activity log says now. So I feel I'd at least give at least 11 and 12 place to get some more games on here. And a little bit more variety. So on 11th place, we've got Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Dual Destiny at 50 hours and 59 minutes. Okay, and genuinely something different here. Anyone want to randomly guess what my 12th most played game is?
Animal Crossing.
No, I've already said Animal Crossing. Is there only the one? Let me give you a clue. It features one of the cast of Smash Bros. There we go.
Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yes. 50 hours and 22 minutes. Kid Icarus Uprising was number 12 for me.
I only think I only put about 20 hours in, or no, I think it was like.
I think I spent about 20 minutes on that game.
I liked it. I got that. That was actually my last free gift I got from Club Nintendo.
Oh,
surprisingly, it's a good gift to have.
I don't know. I had 11 hours. Yep, and I was finishing the story.
I'm gonna go look. It's about 15 minutes for me because like my hand hurts and I'm never playing this again.
So yeah, I mean, we've had a few surprises there. I feel.
Yeah, a few giggles. Yeah.
A few little interests there. It might be worth noticing, like, if you just like, I saw some weird oddities when I was scrolling down, like Beyonds. Like, there's also like a bunch of games I spend like hardly any time in, which, if you go all the way to the bottom of the list, it feels really bad. Like, oh,
hang on,
I literally played this game for 5 minutes and I never touched it up.
I need to see what my least played game is.
I'm not getting over the fact that you put 2,000 hours into Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
I don't.
And what glorious hours they were too.
I don't even think I put. I think 2,000 hours is probably the amount of playtime I've had with most games, probably from the last 7 years. Not just one. Wow.
So,
for example, I've only put 5 minutes into Kirby's Dream Course on the 3DS.
Okay, so my least played game. Does it count the AR games? Do they count?
I think so.
I guess so.
It's more like an app, really, but 2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right, I'm going to find AR games. I've not found it yet. I might put some
14
time.
hours.
Oh no, it was actually my number one all along. I didn't scroll up higher.
Somehow, Kingdom of Plants 3D, which was just a movie, was double that at 4 minutes. Very weird.
I'm still scrolling up. I've not found it yet.
I'm trying to find an actual proper game.
Was that Face Raiders? Or is that something else?
Well, my one was the AR games. It just says it's the karting.
I was just put AR games. Well, just as I'm here, I put 50 minutes into Face Raiders. That's probably more than this.
Mine's actually a bit higher than that. Where is my Face Raiders? Mainly because of my nieces, though. That's the thing.
Let's see what the least played.
I found AR games. 1 hour 46 minutes. I played of AR games.
God, man.
You beat my two. The least played thing I have on here is tied for 69th is Post to Meverse. It just says Post to Meverse. That's it.
Post to Meverse.
Yeah.
Interesting. I can't play. Do I play Face Raiders in the system? I must.
Also, as a side note, I spent 17 hours 38 minutes of Advance Wars Dual Strike on the 3DS.
It's not bad.
Which obviously was not the majority of my playtime of that game.
I spent 3 minutes watching Dinosaur Office. That includes video on the 3DS, which I don't think is a thing anymore.
And also, Colin, this one will sadden you. I played. Well, actually, I'm not sure it was sadden you or not. I played 29 hours of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
Hey, you're not doing it right.
No, I guess not.
Oh, geez. So, wow, we have quite the eclectic amount of things we played, and the absurd amount when looking at.
It's a good mix.
It is, and like, yeah, it's been interesting. Like just going back into that activity log because it's actually quite a good app in itself. Is the activity log one of the things it tracks? Just throwing that out there. Is that on the list in the activity log itself? Either way, it's a much more in-depth version of obviously what we got on the Switch.
Yeah, which is interesting.
It was because not only does it rank everything, but it tells you how many times you've played. Actually, a trick we missed. Maybe we can go back on some of the things, but it gives you average play time, so your play sessions.
You don't want them play sessions.
Actually, no, I'm curious.
Let me dig it up.
Your number one. What was your average play session? Now, I think that would tell us a fair bit. How many times you played it?
It'll tell you a little bit of my lifestyle.
Yeah, on the top screen.
Yep. Hang on, I'll bring it up again. Right. Are you ready?
Actually, we can make more sense. So maybe I can make sense of my internet history as well. But go on.
Okay, strap yourself in. Average play time, 4 hours, 2 minutes.
Where do I see this? Because this is actually
session.
Just on the top screen.
Top screen.
Highlight the thing.
Average.
And it will say
Apparently,
your average playtime.
That's my number 2 average playtime. Somehow, what's my number 1?
Yeah, that's a good point. You got a separate rank. So my most frequently played thing was the eShop. 680 times I launched it, apparently, which is quite a few. Average playtime of 8 minutes in the eShop.
Number times played, that'd be a good one.
Oh, my average playtime, my number 1 is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga at 3 hours and 39 minutes.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
And I mean, I see a pattern here, actually. A lot of my average play times for the top games are an hour. Which, like, for even things like when you have these, like the Phoenix games, the average play times are scarily close. I guess there's the way I play those types of games. I will play it for that sort of length of time and feel like, oh, I've had enough for now. I shall play some tomorrow.
Yeah.
But hey, it's cool. I like how it's fully featured. I would like some of these things to come to the Switch because it is limited currently. I like that. You know, there's something there because the other systems stuff. It seems like a silly thing from people who've had Nintendo consoles recently because it's been built into the system for a long time now.
Yeah.
And so I would like to see like the ability to simply order them from your most played on Switch. You can't do that yet. It's just ordered from your most recently played to the game you played last, regardless of how long you've played it.
It's one of those weird things. It's a bit of a regression. I wonder if that ever will update that to be more like in line. Because even the Wii U one, it's not as fully featured as the 3DS one, but it still has. It gives you options like what's your most played game. I think is one of them. Things like that.
There was no central place to see. Oh, these are all the games I've played. You would have to find it on the calendar, and then you could find your total play time. But you'd have to do that first.
That's right.
So if you've not played it for a while. Even if you played it for 100 hours,
you're just scrolling
you
back.
have to dig out in the calendar first. Yeah. I was wondering if Harrison, you don't happen to have your Switch at hand, do you? I was wondering if we could do a little bonus on the end of this.
I can go get my
Switch.
Do. Let me go.
What you do?
Let me go get it real quick.
Oh, fantastic! Right, what we'll do then is, as a little bonus, we'll go through the information we do have. I guess me and Harrison on what we've clocked on the Switch, just to see what the comparisons.
Dig out.
You do your equivalent. So I'll start because I think there's some surprises here as well, and so I guess it's another good time. So we're going to do another guessing round, and we'll start with me.
What am I doing exactly here?
All right, what we're going to do is going to do something similar, but it's not ranked, so we'll just have to go with it. So. What I want you to do is if you guess what my most played is on the Switch, and, I'll let you know if you got it.
It's Breath of the Wild.
1 second. Okay, Breath of the Wild, and what do you reckon, Colin?
Sorry? Oh, your most played game on the Switch? It has to be Zelda, surely.
You reckon it's Zelda 2?
Yeah, it has to be. I can't think of any other game that would take up too much of your time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're both correct. It is Zelda. It actually takes the lead by quite the margin. Although it doesn't mean there aren't other games which have been played a long time. Breath of the Wild, 225 hours, which I'm surprised at how high that is. 225.
120 hours for me.
Okay. And is that your most played, I'm assuming?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the next prize I had is my second most played, and this is just obviously manually looking. Any guesses? I'll just do it for the second.
Splatoon 2.
Correct. With how many hours do you reckon?
Just over 100.
Pretty close. 130.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I'm pretty sure that's more time than I spent on the original. I'd have to double check. Obviously, that game was out for a lot longer than Splatoon 2 is currently. But yeah, I've been putting a decent chunk of time. Even in ARMS, I've got 65 hours in there. And so, yeah, a lot of these games which have come out this year keep bringing me back, which is really cool.
So I've done Monster Hunter on Wii U.
Okay.
And apparently that's the number.
Oh, well, okay. That's a big.
Yeah.
You have to speak it.
Yeah, it's
more Monster Hunter. Jeez.
But if you combine that with the 3DS one, it'd be like 2,500 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of Monster Hunting.
It's a fair amount. Yeah, 720 times
That's cool.
played total. Can't complain.
Oh, definitely not. And so I think that's going to cover it for our super topic this week. We've had some nice surprises and some very big numbers as well, which aren't as much surprises. And so thank you again, Daniel. If you would like to send in a super topic yourself, you can by supporting us on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/Nintendo Voice. And if you do so, you can chuck us super topic questions and we'll do them on future shows. Simple as that. And that is today's show. And so let's wrap up in the usual fashion. Harrison, if you'd like to go first, how can people get hold of you? And is there anything else that you would like to let the listeners know that you're up to?
Yes. You can reach me on Twitter at @hmilfeld. And as far as becoming friends on Switch, you can find my friend code pinned to the top of that of my Twitter profile. And as far as plugging everything else, do check out everybody at the fine folks at purenintendo.com. I'm, as I said, I'm still and currently like reviewing and writing little small writing features for them for their online. We ourselves have our own Patreon set up there too, and a lot of the fine folks in there are great writers and just huge fans of Nintendo, and it's to me still such a great community there as well, and one that I'm glad that we are able to kind of work with too.
That's awesome.
So that's me.
And yourself, Colin?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Heidi and Bard, which is probably how you think it's spelled. I do streams every day. If you want to find my YouTube channel, it's in my description on my Twitter. So, yeah.
Okay, and before I jump into mine, an alternative way to find Colin's YouTube channel is jump onto Nintendo Voice.
That's right.
/Nintendo Voice. And obviously you can check us out there. You can subscribe. You can watch this show live if you don't already. And on the featured section on the right, you can check out Colin's channel, and you can also subscribe and enjoy his daily streams.
Although you've not been doing it lately, though, right?
I didn't do one today because I had to do Halloween festivities with my nieces. Oh, I did stream today.
Every day.
Like earlier in the afternoon. But yeah, every day, more or less.
Every day. Committed.
Yeah.
You want to get hold of me, though? If you head over to Twitter, and the word you need is illusion, and the way you spell that is LEUVSION. As simple as that. And I don't have any wares to plug. And so that's going to do it for today's episode 113, the very spooky Halloween featured episode as it was.
There you go. There's our quota.
I don't have candy. I don't have candy, listeners, so it's a thrill.
I must say, I had a very particular thematic, spooky intro. I enjoyed very much going into the show, and I'm sure Colin's got a very nice outro planned as well. So look forward to that. Enjoy the spooky tunes. And that's going to do it for today. So thanks once again for listening, and this has been Nintendo Voice.
Take care, everybody.
See you there, everyone.